Hello everyone. As we enter into Microsoft Access lessons, some students may not have the Microsoft Access database. Therefore, I will show you an alternative of the Microsoft Office 2016 called OpenOffice. Student can go to this website. It's called openoffice.org. Okay, and go to download. On the right hand corner you will see a download link. Click this one. Depending on the operating system that student use, let's say that most of them are Windows, so you can go to download full installation. If you are using Mac, you can go to OS 10, greater than OS 10 or lower than OS 10. This is for Mac. Okay, so you download it, wait for a few minutes. After you finish downloading, normally you download it on the desktop computer or on the download folder. In my case, I download it in the desktop folder. Okay, so you can double click it and follow the instruction. All right, so that is how to download OpenOffice, right? In case student do not have the Microsoft Office. This is a free program. This is a free program to download and to use to everyone because it is an open source instead of a proprietary or commercial like Microsoft Office 2016. Okay, so now students know how to get that free program and start installing. Okay, in my case, I already installed the program here. I already installed the program. So you double click this and follow all the instruction, and after you successfully finish installing the program, you will see the icon over there on the desktop. I would suggest that student reboot their computer so they can finish the installation. All right. So how we create Access database using OpenOffice? You double click this one. Okay. And then as you can see in OpenOffice, they also have Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And this is for PowerPoint. This is for PowerPoint, and this is for database. Okay. Since we are going to create an Access database, so we're gonna use the corresponding program for this Apache OpenOffice called DBase or Base. Click this. Alright, since this is the first time that we want to create a database, you just leave it as default, right? Create a new database. Okay, you click next and then you click finish. You are going to name this Access Lab 1. Okay, I'm gonna put B here because I already create the first database earlier. So I'm gonna name this Access Lab 1. If you notice that the file extension is ODF database, right? I will be able to open this lab in case you save this under ODF database file and then click save. Okay. After you click save, and how you start creating the database. As you can see on the paper that I provided to you on the Blackboard, the first thing that you need to do is to create table in the design view. All right, click this one, and then you're gonna name the first field name is called what? Item code. Okay, and the data type is short text or text, right? Text. Okay, and then the description, you will put this as item code as a primary key. What is primary key? Primary key is basically a unique field name that identify a record. For example, when students want to register for a class, what is the first thing that STC staff asks them? Well, when students try to enroll for a class at STC, the first thing that the staff at South Texas College asks is what is your student ID? So your student ID is a unique key that identifies your record. All right. My next question is, can you use your last name as a primary key? Let's think a few seconds before you answer my questions. Can you use your last name, people's last name, as a primary key? Think a little bit. The answer is no, because we will going to have the same. We are going to have a lot of last name with the same things, right? For example, we may have a last name called Peña, which is popular here. Maybe we have another last name called Bus. Maybe there are so many Bus here, right? So last name, field name is not a good way to put as a primary key. Okay. How about social security? Can you use your social security as a primary key? Let's think a little bit here. Let's think a few seconds. The answer is yes, because social security is very unique to individual or a person. That means that we can use social security field name as a primary key. So now students understand what is a primary key. How do you put a primary key in this ODF file, ODB file? Okay, you do right click and then primary key. Notice that you have a primary key. In a table, normally you need to have at least one primary key. Okay. The next one is you're going to type what? Description. Okay. Description. And then here you're gonna go varchar, leave it as default, and then here you're gonna put description of item. Okay, description of item. And the field size here I forgot to put on the first one. We will come back to that later. Here the length is 20, so you need to put this. Okay, in the first one, the item code, the length is 4, so we need to put this. All right, 4. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna put the third one on hand. We're gonna put the data type or the field type as number, and the description we are going to use what? Number of units on hand. Okay, and as a number we don't need to put the length here, but in Microsoft Access they don't put a length, so but here they ask you, so let's just leave it as default. Okay, the next one we're gonna use cost field name. Okay, here in Access database we need to put currency, but in ODB Open Office we are going to use decimal, and then on the format you are going to put currency and leave it as default as it is, right? 2 decimal digit, and then click OK. That's how you put that. All right, so the cost is what? The description is cost of item. Okay, so student will fill it out all the way until the supplier code. So you need to enter the cost and then selling price here, selling price, and then you guys gonna put the supplier code. Okay, supplier code. The selling price is a currency also, so we need to put this as a decimal, and then on the format we are going to put as a currency. Click OK, leave it as default, and the description we're gonna put selling price of item. Okay, and the last one is supplier code is the code of items supplier. All right, and the field size here is put 2. All right, so now you see the item code. You see the first, once we finish fill out all the field name and the field type, description, and the length, make sure you double check again to ensure that we follow all the description specified in the description, right? The field name, description, and the length, right? This is called the field size. On the description, we have a short text or text, right? 20, the length is 20, and this is not a primary key, so we just leave it as default, right? The description, we're gonna put description as item and follow all the way down, right? How do you make a field name as a primary key? You have to do right click and primary key, check that. All right, once student finish creating the structure of a table, this is called the structure of a table. The next thing that they have to do is to save this structure of a table. You go to file and then save as, right? We are going to save this table as item table. We're going to put this as item and then table. Click OK, like that. All right. We're going to save this as item table. We're going to close this. You will see that we have an item table. Remember, this is just the structure, okay? So now how we enter the data? We double click this. And then now we start entering the data. BA 35, BA 35, and then you put the description, bathhouse, and then quantity on hand is 14. The cost is 43.50. The selling price is 45.50, and the supplier code is 21. Remember, we always do it horizontally like this. Okay, we do it per line like that. Then the second line we're gonna put this here, which is BB01, and then bird bath, and then quantity 2, and then we have the cost is 82.10, and then we have 86.25. The supplier code is 13. Okay, so student need to enter all the way down until I think we have about 10 record there until window feeder. Make sure you enter that. After you finish all the 10 record of this, you need to close it, right? You go to file and then close. Okay, now your item table has the data. If I double click this, this is how the item table. Okay, so this is how you create a table using OpenOffice Base. The file will be saved under ODB. How you create a form? You go to create a form and then create form using design view here. All right, let me see. You have to click this one, click the item table, and then you go to database. You create a form using wizard, and when you want to create a form, when you want to create a report, you go to report wizard. Okay, so right click, form wizard, and report wizard. That's how you create a form and a report. I want to limit my presentation to 15 minutes, so I'm almost done with my quota here. So once you finish everything, you need to go to file, save this database again as Access Lab 1B. Okay, I'm gonna save this again and attach to the Blackboard. Thank you.